Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is so nice to have you here with me. Today I'm actually gonna be cooking. I know I have not been live last week, but we are back for sure, and I'm gonna take you along with cooking today's lunch menu. And today's lunch menu is gonna be some white rice with curry chicken and potato. It's that simple. And I already have my chicken that is already washed and cleaned, so I'm just going to cut it up now. I'm not sure which one I'm going to be using. I have my very sharp knife here and I have my Chinese chopper. More than likely I'm going to be using the Chinese chopper. Right, so I am trying to finish cooking lunch while the baby is sleeping. Right, the Chinese chopper is apparently done, so probably needs to be sharpened, so I'm taking out this guy, right? And I'm just cutting up the thighs because I'm using chicken thighs. That's what I have on hand right now. So I'm gonna be using chicken thighs. That's not Halloween. I'm gonna be using chicken thighs to make my curry today. It's not Halloween. Right, and I also have my daughter in the kitchen with me, so if you all do happen to hear baby music in the background, my daughter is looking at her shoes. But as I said, for today I am actually gonna be cooking some white rice and curry chicken with potato. That is gonna be one pot, it's not going to be a separate pot. So I am just cutting up my chicken that is already cleaned and washed. I usually clean my chicken with some vinegar and water, as well as sometimes I do it with salt, or if I have lime or lemon on hand, I am going to be using that also. But my chicken was already previously cleaned early on in the month, and if you all would have tuned in to any of the previous lives, you all would have seen where I cleaned 20 pounds of thighs. So I just defrosted some thighs this morning, and I'm just going to be cutting it up to make some curry chicken. Alright, so for those of you who are new here, my name is Cherise. Thank you and welcome to my channel. If you all aren't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It will be lovely to have you join our little YouTube family here. And on my channel I would usually show how I create meals for my family, as well as some of the things that we do together as a family. Alright, and I even of recent have started sharing what I do business wise. So I am a makeup artist as well as a hairstylist, so I do show some of my clients that allow me the chance to show them and to show their process. But I am a full-time wife and mother to 3 children and a beautiful husband. So you all can let me know where you all are tuned in from, what part of the world you all are looking in on at the moment. As I said, I'm just really cutting up some chicken thighs here in the front here, and this is the meat that I'm gonna be using for my curry today. I am just cutting them up into smaller pieces so as to make them much easier, because I don't want to be eating a big piece of thigh in my curry. And I'm making Trinidad curry. because I am from Trinidad. I live in Trinidad. I already have my rice up on the stove boiling, and I did do 2 cups of white rice. So I will be seasoning my chicken and allowing it to rest just for a bit, because it helps marinate the chicken and allows all the seasoning to really soak in there. I have 1 more piece of chicken, 1 more piece of thigh to cut up. I bought them whole. I got like 30 pounds of thighs, so I bought them whole, and I'll just, as I need them, I will just take them out of the deep freeze and cook them as I see fit. So that is what I am actually doing. For some of the other pieces of chicken that I would have cooked previously, I would have done baked chicken for my husband. I also did do stew chicken someday last week, or the week before. However, I didn't show how. Lifestyle, hello, how are you? So yes, them 1 more time, and then I'm going to come back on camera and I'm going to season them and put them in the fridge while we cut up the remaining aromatics that I'm going to be using to start my curry. I also am going to be washing out my cutting board. I'll be right back. Right, so I'm back. I have it was just to rinse out and drain out any excess water that our bowl had. I am going to be putting in some green seasoning. I did show how I make my green seasoning on my channel, so you all can feel free to check that out. I do have, I think, a short on the page, as well as a previous live where I would have shown how I create my green seasoning from scratch. I think I probably have like about 2 on the page. So I'm going to get a bottle of green seasoning from the fridge and I'm going to come back. So this is what my green seasoning looks like. I am just reusing a bottle that I had in the cupboard. So I'm not going to show the front label because the labeling is not my own, right? And this is not in any way a sponsored video or live. So I have my green seasoning, and I like to be really generous with my green seasoning, right? So we have green seasoning down there. Behind me, this container has salt in it, so I'm going to put some salt. 1 second. 1 second, Mom. I also because I'm making curry, I also am gonna be just now. I'm also gonna be using some hot and spicy duck and goat curry powder. This is just a powder that is already mixed with anchar masala as well as jeera, right? And curry powder, right? So I like to put some of it in there when I am making curry chicken. I do have another pack of curry powder, that is. I am putting in some turmeric or saffron powder. Right. I have some salt. Bear in mind, I'm going to be cutting up some additional seasoning to saute and cook down my curry in, because we do have to cook our curry first. Right, this I have here is mild garlic and parsley blend, and it is from this brand. I get this in my grocery. Nice. Right, and I'm just gonna use my hands to mix this all up. This smells divine. Right, so now that my meat is seasoned, this is what it's looking like. And I'm going to rest this in the fridge until I'm finished cutting up my aromatics that I'm going to be using to start to cook my curry chicken. So let me just wash my hands and I'm going to put this into the fridge. Right, and for my aromatics, I do have 1 onion and I would say half a head of garlic, and I'm going to cut all of this up, peel them and cut them up. I also have some chive and some shadow benny here. This is fresh from my garden. I usually, when I'm cooking curry, I like to have fresh seasoning on hand. I always like to have that. To me, it helps boost all of that curry flavor that helps make the pot a lot more flavorful. So I'm going to start with my onion first, and then I'm going to go in with the garlic. Alright, I have to get my knife. I'm going to give you a banana. I'm just giving my daughter a banana here. The baby is currently sleeping, and for those of you who are new here, my name is Cherise, and I am a wife and a mother of 3 children. Right, I recently had a baby. Well, he's 4 months old, so he's currently asleep, so I'm actually trying to take the time to cook lunch while he's sleeping. Right, I have my white rice in that silver pan boiling behind me. Oh man. Oh my goodness, this onion is probably gonna make me cry. My eyes are bleeding already. Alright, so I'm just gonna dice up this 1 onion. It's not a really big onion because it's not like a ton of curry that I'm doing. Whoa. Right. My onions are cut up. I'm gonna get a small bowl. Wow. Whew. So I'm just gonna put my onions into this bowl here. My eyes are really burning me. I'm gonna do the garlic now. I'm more doing the bigger pieces of the garlic, well, the bigger garlic grains because I want it chopped up. Oh, my eyes are bleeding. Using the back of their knife and hitting it allows the garlic skin to peel off really easily. Now, I mean, it's much more convenient to probably buy garlic that is already peeled, but buying it that way, you're not gonna get as much as if you buy it to be peeled. What are you? Hi Ron, I am cooking some curry chicken with curry potato. That is a 1 pot with white rice. I have my white rice boiling already. And if you all are new here, my name is Cherise and I am a wife and a mother. Ooh, my eyes are really burning from that onion. Right, so I'm just actually preparing my aromatics. I would have previously, like probably 2 minutes ago, I would have cut up and seasoned my chicken. I use chicken thighs because that's what I had on hand. Thank you. And my daughter right on the side here, she's eating bananas. So this is actually me sort of meal prepping a meal for my family to eat, probably for today and tomorrow, most I will, and for my son to be able to carry to school. I'm just giving them a rough cut because for the length of time they're going to be cooking, it will melt in the pot. Which part of the world are you all tuned in from, and do you all know about Trinidad curry? My eyes and my nose are running. Right, so my garlic is cut up. I'm going to put it into the same bowl with the onion because I need the 2 of them. No, you cannot have any more. I'm going to be putting it into the pot together. Right, and now I'm just going to give my... Right, I'm going to give my chive or spring onions together with my shadow benny a cut up as well. And this was actually homegrown. Hello, I'm not understanding the language, so excuse me if I don't respond. Right. Rest of the day I'll give it to you just so. Right. My daughter is at the kitchen table with me and she's hungry. Where is the chicken? The chicken is actually in the fridge. Let me take it out and show you what it looks like. So this is what my chicken looks like seasoned. I would have added in green seasoning that I would have made at home that consists of garlic, ginger, shadow benny, chive, pimento, as well as onion, and I would have blended that up to make a mixture, and that is what I used to season my chicken. I also added in some salt as well as some curry powder and some saffron powder. Alright, so I'm going to put this back in the fridge because I want this to marinate while we prepare the pot. My rice is probably finished by now, so I have to check that out because I don't like soft rice. So I like my rice to be much more on the grainy side. So that has been cooking for about 20 minutes, which means it's time for it to come off. So I'm going to get a spoon to check on it. Alright, so my rice is finished, and this is how I usually like my rice. My rice is pretty grainy, right? It's not hard, but it's not soft and sticking together, which is ideal. I don't like sticky rice whatsoever. Wait. So I'm gonna leave that fire on, and when I remove the rice, I said to wait. When I remove the rice, I'm going to put my pot to heat up for my curry chicken. That I'm actually going to be cooking our curry chicken in.
This for me. I like cooking. What? Mommy does not have a daddy. My dad not have a daddy.
Right, so
hi
walkthrough wonders, how are you?
Mommy,
so we would have prepared our chicken already, and what we are doing now is I just strained the rice, and I'm gonna put this pot up to heat up to prepare my chicken, because I need this pot really hot to prepare, well, at least for curry chicken. It helps all the aromatics to saute really nicely, and it brings about all the flavor that we want to expel from the curry powders, right? So while that is heating up, I'm going to prepare. Yes, I will be careful. I'm going to prepare just some bread and peanut butter for my daughter that's sitting right here. Right, so you all can tell me what part of the world you all are tuned in from. We are in Trinidad currently. Right, and I make my own homemade bread. This is bread that I made over the weekend. If you all need a recipe for that, you all can check out my page. Definitely, I do have my bread recipe on my page. I don't need this cutting board anymore, so I'm going to put it aside. Alright, so I'm just cutting this bread while I wait for my pot to heat up. And for curry chicken, I do mix powders, well, the grind powders down, and I get this from my grocery store. I get this from my grocery store. Nice. So, bread and peanut butter. Right, I think by now my pot may be almost finished, but I'm gonna prepare the container that we are gonna be using for our curry powder. This is my container that I usually have all things curry or all things for curry. I really don't use any specific measurements for curry per se, but I'm gonna be using Madras curry powder. Right? I need to cut. This is a new pack. So I'm going to be putting most of which is going to be this Madras curry powder. I'm also going to be putting in some ground jeera. And a tad bit of anchar masala. So this is what we are looking like, and I'm gonna give this a good mix. Oh, I almost forgot to put in a little bit of turmeric or saffron powder if you have. So I'm just going to be taking a plastic fork and mixing it all in together. Alright, so this is what our powder is looking like. So I'm going to take you all by the stove with me now. And this is one of my family's favorite meals. So I'm so happy to finally be sharing this. We love a good curry. My phone is on a stand, so I'm just trying to make sure that you all get to see it properly. Right, so first thing that's going to be going into our pot is vegetable oil. Not soybean oil, but vegetable oil. Right, that is roughly around 2 teaspoons. This pot is pretty hot, but we'll see how hot it is when we throw in our aromatics and to see if it actually cooks down how we want it to. Right, you also when you're cooking curry, you want to make sure that you have a kettle with hot water on hand, right, which I do have here. My kettle is heating up. I'm gonna saute my aromatics now. So the first thing that I'm gonna put in are the garlic and onion that we would have chopped up. You hear that sizzle? That is what you want. Alright, I'm just gonna make sure it's sort of evened out in the pot. And we're gonna allow this to cook until you are seeing the garlic turning just a bit brown in the pot. That's what you're looking for, and that is when you are going to put in your curry powder to chunky. Alright? And because the pot is pretty hot, this is not going to take very long to get brown. Our pieces are already turning golden brown, as well as the onion has already started to crystallize. So I'm going to put in my curry mixture here. Follow. Hi, how are you? I'm not sure if I'm gonna need much more curry, but we'll see. Alright, and just mix that up in there. I'm going to actually get some green seasoning. I like to put some green seasoning in here to allow that curry powder to chunky. And our stuff has already started to kind of get thick, so I'm gonna put some water into here. Oh, it's nice to have Brazil here. Right, so I'm gonna try to change the angle in a bit so y'all can see inside the pot a little more. And I want this to cook down a little. Let me see if I can put this up a little bit more for y'all to see. Alright. Right, and it already has a sort of a paste-like finish. I do need some light here, so I'm gonna alright, I think y'all are seeing probably a little bit better there. Alright, I'm gonna add in a little more water because I want this to cook just a little bit more. Also gonna put in some more green seasoning. Right, once our curry has started to thicken up, I'm gonna put in the chicken. So we're just gonna wait probably like a minute for this to thicken up. And this is our chicken that we'll be using. Our chicken is seasoned with, so our curry has thickened up really nice, creating a really nice paste for our chicken. I'm gonna put this in now. Right, and we're just gonna turn this around and allow the curry to properly coat the chicken. Right, and this is what our chicken is looking like. We're gonna allow this to coat for just about probably 2 to 3 minutes. And we really want, why I'm not adding in any additional waters yet, we really want the curry to cook and saturate that chicken before adding in any additional water. So we just want it to cook down a bit, and we have to wait, like, I would say wait till it almost looks as though the water in there is completely dried down before adding in any additional water to allow the chicken to cook. Because it's really important for curry to get and take the flavor effectively. Now you could use any part of the chicken or any chicken parts per se. I simply used what I had on hand. And what I had on hand was chicken thighs. I just cut them up smaller. So that it's easier for children to eat and for everybody to enjoy versus just holding a big piece of curry thigh to eat. So I'm not sure where you all are tuned in from, but I would love to hear where you all are looking at my live from. I am from Trinidad. I am located in Trinidad currently, and we are on a journey to grow our YouTube family. So if you all aren't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you here as part of our YouTube family. So as I said, I'm just waiting for that curry chicken to really take that paste that we would have made with the curry powder, as well as our onion and garlic. And the chicken has already started to spring its own water, which is exactly what we want. Right, so the chicken has sprung its own water, even though we would have added in a paste. But our chicken is properly well coated. Right, and as you can see, even when we pick a piece of curry chicken, it is pretty yellow, which is exactly what we want, because we want the chicken to become like a paste and take that yellow color. So at this point, I'm going to put in some water, and this is hot water that I had boiling here. Just enough to cover the chicken. You're not drowning it, just covering it. And I'm also going to add in the remaining seasoning that we had in the bowl from the chicken. Right, and our curry chicken is looking divine. Right, I'm gonna cover this and allow this to come to a boil. Only when it has come to a boil, then I'll be adding in the potatoes. So I'm going to cover this. I don't have a particular pot cover for this, so I use this to cover my pot with. So at this point, you all can ask me any questions you all have pertaining to my page and the type of content that I create while we sit and wait. So my baby is awake. Here he is. So I do have to hold him and tend to him for a bit so I can answer any questions that you all might be having, any burning desires you all want to know pertaining to my page and the type of content that I do create. I'm trying to bring this down. Okay, brought that down a little too fast. Right? So today, if you all are new here, my name is Cherise. I am from Trinidad and we are actually going to be making some curry chicken today. That is our menu for today. Some curry chicken with potato. And my kitchen looks a bit chaotic because I'm cooking. Right? But for the most part, I do Trinidad recipes on my page. If I do see any desserts that I would like to try, I would try them and post the recipes in terms of what works for me. But I tend to like to try out recipes first before actually posting them so that I know that they actually work. And if I do happen to make tweaks to the recipe so that it works for me, my climate, and where I live with the ingredients that I get, then and only then do I post those recipes that I tend to try out. So that is what I usually do on my page, together with ensuring that I post some of the things that my family and I do together, as well as, you know, just some eating vlogs if I try out a new place or try out a new menu, or my husband brings home something new for me, which is actually something that I have to start back doing. I just took a little pause because I was just adjusting to having 3 children and the routine that comes with that, or building a routine to ensure that I care for everybody's needs, including my own. Right? What else? I'm not sure. So that is really what has been happening. I do still have to post my birthing video or my birthing story, where you all can ask me anything or ask me some questions on here that you all think you all might want me to address in that birthing video, because I did have a home delivery, which was, by the way, very successful. So I do have to share my story on how that actually went, because this is the second time that I was able, well, the first time that I was actually able to have one of my babies home. The second child, I was supposed to have them at home, but there were some circumstances that changed and I ended up having her at the hospital. However, I got preferential treatment with the program that I was enrolled in to just have my baby and come home almost immediately after cleanup and delivery and etc, which is, that video or that story is already posted to my page. That was actually one of the first sets of videos that I posted to my channel. So if you all are interested in that type of content, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you here with me, as well as if you all are a mom or a dad or just parents in general tuning into this particular live, then I would suggest you subscribe to my channel, because I do take you all along on how I spend time with my family, some of the things that we do together as a family, not only recipes. Also, if you are interested in like makeup type content, even hair type content, I do post some of those type of content to my page, because I am a makeup artist and I am a hairstylist. So I tend to post some of those type of content when I'll get my clients to be on camera with me. Some of them are really shy and prefer to be left out of the spotlight, and then I do have a few of them which allow me to record the process. So that is what I do. I have my daughter here on the side with me. She came to check her brother. Say hi.
Hi.
You have to come in more. Say hi.
Hi.
Right? And my older son is at school right now, so I'm home with the toddler. So I am a stay-at-home mom. My business, I run strictly by appointments, so I'm not going to have appointments every day to ensure that I facilitate my family life and ensure that everybody's needs are met while my husband works, right? So if you all have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I will be happy to address any of them while we wait for that curry chicken behind it. Right? And something that I would have noticed as having children young or very close together, this type of bonding. Children, my son is 4 months old and gonna be 5 months in like about a week or so, and he has developed, I would say, the fastest out of all of my children because of the mere fact that he was around a lot of children. So having children grow up around other children, it helps in their brain development. It helps in their brain development and allows them to grow or develop a lot faster than the average timeline. Right? So he's going to be starting like purees and fruits very soon. Even though I'm breastfeeding him, he is showing a very vast interest in food, which is one of the cues that you will tend to typically look for when a child or a baby is interested in food. Right? So that is something that if you all are interested in that type of content is definitely coming up. Oopsie. My son wants to play with my daughter. Right, so I'm gonna put him down into his playpen and I'm gonna bring you all along to check that curry that we just put. Excuse me, can I pass please? Go to the side, I wanna pass. Alright, so we're gonna check this curry that we have here. So I'm going to uncover, I'm gonna switch my camera to the rear camera and I'm gonna open up this here. And as you can see, this is what our curry is looking like. It did spring some more water and on its own. So what I am going to do now, because we are adding potatoes to this, our chicken isn't going to take very long to cook, so I'm going to put in the potatoes. Now let me just set back up the camera back to the stand. Right? But that is basically what I do with my curry, or how I make my own curry. I'm just putting this up here. Paulo, you are from Brazil. It's very nice to have Brazil in the house here with us. I'm just fixing up my stand so that I'm able to show you all the pot properly while I put in the potatoes. Alright, so let me just bring this down here. That was what we're working with. This is our potatoes and I'm just gonna put them in. I have like about 6. This was like 6 small potatoes. and we're gonna give this a good mix. I also like to add in a little bit of coconut milk powder to my curry. So I'm using Caribbean flavors coconut milk powder, and this is a really big pack, so I'm just going to be adding in half of this into our pot. So right, oopsie.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. And I'm gonna add in some water, fill this up with water, and get a spoon and give it a mix. Right, I'm gonna pour that in there. Right. While my curry is cooking, I tend to add in more green seasoning, and this is homemade green seasoning. I'm not going to show the label because this video is not a sponsored video, and this is not seasoning by this particular brand. This is my own homemade seasoning that I would have made. Right, drop some in there. Give that a good mix. And we're going to allow our curry now to cook. So I'm going to cover this back, and we want our chicken and our potato to finish cooking. Right, so I am going to now tend to the baby for a little bit, and I'll be back in like around 15 minutes where I'm going to show what the finished results is going to look like. 15 to 20 minutes, because that's how long it's actually going to take. It's not going to take a very long time to finish, which is exactly what we want. Right, so if you all are new here, welcome, and thank you all for tuning into my live. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button in order to see the end result and to get that notification when we go back live to see the end result. So I'll see you all in a little bit. Bye.